26, Representative Bratton,
Here.
Representative Erickson,
Here.
Representative Guggenmoss,
Here.
Representative Kelly,
Here.
Representative Lawley,
Here.
Representative Singh,
Here.
Representative Strock,
Here.
Representative Williams,
Here.
Chairman Andrew.
Here.
You have a quorum.
Thank you. House Bill 23 is now on the table for our consideration. Representative Lawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, committee. We actually worked on this, as you remember, for a long time during the session. This is House Bill 23. It's participation in grades 6 through 12 activities. And as you may recall, there were some incidents in school districts between the last session and this, during the interim and this time, that there was some discussions and determinations by some districts that they would no longer allow participation by homeschool students or other students, I guess, but who are not fully enrolled in the school system to participate in activities at the middle school level. So the statute at that time, there seemed to have not been any concern or misunderstanding about it for many years, like 20 plus years. But that they just decided that they had a new and different interpretation. I don't believe that was supported based on my own conversations with the Wyoming High School Athletic Association, or excuse me, Activities Association. They did not really support that new interpretation, but that new interpretation was creating different issues in different districts as they moved to potentially cut out middle school students from participating in activities that are sanctioned by the Wyoming High School Athletic Association. Even though they're not sanctioned at that level, they were the same type of activities and therefore kind of depart from what I would call the traditional interpretation. And as a result of that, we felt we needed to clarify the statute and make sure that that it was clear that it was the legislature's decision that the policy would be that we would allow that participation, because again, the statute clearly included high school. At the high school level, you could participate. So there was just all of a sudden this gap in the middle school grades. So this is what this bill represents, is an attempt to clarify that. I'm going to suggest in a moment we reverse an amendment we made at the last meeting because we may have inadvertently created some confusion. So, but that's the basic bill, is we are basically making it clear that those type of activities that are sanctioned by the Wyoming High School Activities Association that are already being offered at the middle school level will be continued to be offered and open to students who are not enrolled in the school. For example, homeschool students. So as we're moving through the bill, let me just point out to you, since we've been through it before, I'll do it kind of quickly, but on page 2, here's where I think we need to reverse, committee, what we did. As you see on lines 3 and 4, where it's, let me just start with any school-aged child who is a resident of a school district who is not under suspension or expulsion by a Wyoming school district and who is not enrolled. And then we struck as a full-time student in the district in which he resides. I'm going to suggest we've got to put that qualifier back in. Without it being in there, we potentially leave out partially enrolled students. So those that may be attending some classes, and so they're enrolled in that district to take those classes. And so that's what I would suggest that we do, and we can do that at the appropriate time. But you saw we made a few other changes and additions at our last meeting, and that's really it. Plain and simple, trying to make it clear where people thought there wasn't clarity on that issue.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Representative Lawley? Seeing none, do we have any comments from, oh, I'm sorry, Representative Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just had a quick one too, and it's just jogging my memory, but it's been brought to my attention a couple times. Does it address an individual, and this may be part of your amendment, but does it address one that moves district boundaries as to where they might want to participate? So, you know, maybe been ineligible through somewhere else and then they move to become eligible to participates.
Representative Lawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for that question. The way it's currently written, and even with the reversal of an amendment we made, it does require that you live within the district.
Mhm.
It doesn't really go to how you got there
Mm.
or what your motivation was, which is, I think, what you're really
Yeah.
talking about, right?
Mhm.
So no, it doesn't really address that. It says, but you have to live within that district,
Yeah.
the boundaries of that district in order to be allowed to do this. So I hope that helps.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Further questions? Seeing none, is there anyone from the department who would like to speak on this bill? Director Shaner.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, committee members. Dickie Shaner here to speak on behalf of Superintendent Degenfelder. She is in support of this bill. Thank you for considering this. And I would also add, I agree with Representative Lawley's comment that we might need to play with some language to ensure that students who are partially enrolled, which is a bill we discussed in Senate Ed this morning, also have the right by law to participate in these activities.
Thank you. Are there any questions? All right, thank you. Any further comments from state agencies? Is there any public comment on this bill? Good afternoon.
Mr. Chair. My name is James Halverson. I'm the Deputy State Director for Americans for Prosperity. I was brought in here. Normally you'd be probably hearing from Mr. Lindholm at this time, but he's got tired of playing good cop, bad cop because he doesn't have the ability to be the good cop very often. So that's why I'm here. So I appreciate your time. I'm also a recovering school teacher of 15 years, so I've got a little bit of experience in this. Americans for Prosperity would be opposed to this bill as written. With a simple amendment, we would love to support this bill. If we could strike out the 6 through 12, we think it would be a wonderful bill. We're all in favor of school participation. We're all in favor of school choice. As written, the words in there, co-curricular, do represent that there are some activities that happen before the 6th grade. You know, there's band, there's sometimes some choral concerts, some different things like that, maybe some school sports that are sponsored for the younger elementary students, not necessarily sponsored by or sanctioned by the Wyoming High School Activities Association, but there are a lot of activities pre-6th grade. And so if we could strike that language, we would be in full support. So thank you for your time. Let's stand for questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Further public comment? Good afternoon.
Members of the committee, my name is Tate Mullen, I'm the Government Relations Director for the Wyoming Education Association. I would echo the sentiments from AFP. If you were to make that amendment, WA would support this bill. And with that, I'd stand for any questions.
Any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Is there any further public testimony? Seeing none, public testimony.
Mr. Chairman, you do have a couple online. if you'd like
That's
to.
right. Thank you. Can we please go online?
Mr. Chairman, Bill Scarlett has his hand up, so we'll start there. He's joining the room now.
There we are. Hello, Chairman Andrews and committee. My name is Bill Scarlett. I am in my 10th year serving on Teton County School District, Board Number 1. I'm 6 years a treasurer, but today I'm representing my own views. I'm struggling a little bit with this bill with some unattended situations that could arise. Teton County is fortunate to offer parents several options to educate their kids. We have the homeschool option. We have several excellent private schools, and in my biased opinion, a very world-class public school. I want to focus my comments specifically to the private school participation that this bill, I guess, addresses, while it may not be direct. During my tenure on the Board of Trustees, we've entered into agreements with 3 of our private schools that allow their enrolled students to participate in our middle and high school activities. These memorandums provide the Board of Trustees the assurances and guarantees that the private school children are, one, physical residents of our district. Living on the front line of the state of Idaho, we have many students come over from Idaho to work in or to attend our private schools here in Teton County, Wyoming, but they are ineligible per Wyoming High School Activity Association rules to play in Wyoming high school activity sports the way we interpret the policies. The number two thing that we are very concerned about, and this also goes for the homeschool participation, is that they maintain the same academic rigor and academic eligibility that the public school children are required to maintain. We do struggle with making sure that we're comparing apples to apples with these programs. And finally, we do have in our agreement a reimbursement schedule with the private schools to reimburse for their participants at an agreed upon per participant fee. This helps us offset the ever-growing expenses of our coaching, uniforms, facility rentals, referees, travel meals, insurance. This fee is important because the schools are not funded for the private school ADMs through the current or potentially future model. So something to consider about is how to help fund these additional students coming in on a per ADM basis so it is equivalent to the public schools. With that, I'm happy to do my best to answer any questions you all might have.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Representative Bratton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, I just have a comment as far as not being potentially funded in the ADM. I can speak to, in my school district, when students participate or homeschool students participate in activities or sports, or especially with the activities, I believe they do ask the department for partial ADM reimbursement. So, thank you.
Further questions? Seeing none, thank you. Up next, we have Ms. McCoy.
Mr. Chairman, at this time, Ms. McCoy does not have her hand up. I'm gonna give her a second, but I think, oh, yep, she's ready. Okay, Ms. McCoy is joining the room now.
Sorry about that. I thought I had my hand raised. Good afternoon, Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Patricia McCoy, and I'm speaking on behalf of Moms for Liberty chapters across the state of Wyoming. I'm here today in support of House Bill 23 relating to participation in co-curricular and extracurricular activities for students in grades 6 through 12. Moms for Liberty Wyoming supports this bill as a positive step toward expanding and protecting access to educational and developmental opportunities for students whose families have chosen alternative or non-traditional educational pathways. Extracurricular and co-curricular activities play an important role in student growth, leadership, and community connection, and access to these opportunities should not be limited based on a family's educational choice. House Bill 23 ensures that resident students who are not enrolled full-time should still be allowed to participate in district-offered activities while maintaining appropriate residency and disciplinary standards. This approach respects parental rights, promotes student opportunity, and provides a clear, consistent statewide framework. We thank the committee for its work on this bill and respectfully urge you to support House Bill 23.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Seeing that there's no further online testimony, public comment is now closed. Committee, what is your pleasure? Moved by Representative Guggenmoss, seconded by Representative Strzok. Representative Lawley.
I want to remind you, committee, that this bill isn't changing anything as it's already operating under the law for high school. And particularly with the comments from Teton County, I can't really speak to whether what they're doing complies with the law or not with regard to having additional fees for students who reside in their district but want to play sports, because that has never been an issue. We only had a problem with a new interpretation that said you could no longer bring it into middle school. So that's really all we're doing here, is clarifying that middle school students who participate in activities that are sanctioned by the Wyoming High School Activities Association can participate just like they will be able to when they get to high school. That's what the bill's about. So some of the testimony has raised questions that I can't answer about how they're operating, and that's not really our purpose here, but I'm just saying that's something to consider here. And again, I would also then offer amendment, if I could, which is actually the reversal of an amendment we did at our last meeting. Again, page 2, beginning on line 3, reinserting the as a full-time student in the district in which he resides. Where that was stricken, we reinstate it into the bill.
Second. Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the amendment? No discussion. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, no. Amendment is adopted. Are there any further amendments?
I do have a question, Mr. Chairman.
Representative Lawley.
I have a question actually for Ashley. I'm not sure, and you may not know either, but can we in this committee amend the title?
To my knowledge, we can.
I think we can too, but I just wanted to not
Let me confirm. Are you talking about the catch title
Mhm.
or the title title?
Well, both.
Okay,
It would require both.
because I know you can change the catch title. Let me get some guidance on the title.
Yeah,
And I will,
correct.
I'll
Thank
try and get
you.
a response quickly.
Representative, Representative Erickson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. And this is more of just discussion so that I can clear it up for myself and see if we need a whole nother bill, or if we can amend, or if it is in the realm of what we're talking about here. So I'll depend on Representative Lawley to advise me on that. But I saw some questions raised and have heard of the questions about this point of clarification. Do we need a partial FTE, and are some actually requesting that? Can you remind me what your comment on that was, Representative Wong?
Representative Brad.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, I think for the activities, they just charge the fees. And I was thinking maybe the other bill, which is the co-enrollment, that's when the other bill, that's where they apply for the partial ADM, and that's through the department.
Oh, yeah. ADM, sorry, not FTE.
Yeah, I knew.
Representative Lawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think I can clarify that. So on the co-curricular activities, so band, choir, things like that, where there's a class involved, they would participate as a part-time and get ADM for those programs that would be covered under this act as an activity sanctioned by the Wyoming High School Activities Association. So so there is some ADM for those. Sports, probably not. It's basically, but one of the things we can know, I think it's important to understand, is that all transportation, which is one of the large costs of these activities programs, is reimbursed. And the department can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's correct. In fact, we took some of the original language I wanted to use in amending this bill from some rules about the transportation for activities. So obviously there could be some, but it kind of matters by district, like how many people does that require an extra coach or something, or so I'm not saying there would be no cost, but for many districts, negligible costs, smaller districts would, because one of the largest costs is the transportation to the event. So
Ms. Phillips?
Mr. Chairman, I have reached out to some of our attorneys upstairs, and the committee can amend the title. You just may need to be prepared for some debate on that on the floor.
Thank you. With that being said, Representative Erickson.
Sorry, one more. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One more question. And again, it's where it should go as far as this issue. And let's just use Lincoln and Teton since we've had a person that is called in on that. But I'm aware of the situation. Maybe we'll try to reverse it so it doesn't get too personal. But there was an individual that was in homeschool in Teton County. He was participating in Teton County in the football program and became ineligible. And then he moved to Star Valley and come in ready to participate. Advise me on that. would you?
Representative Lawley.
I always get nervous when you use the term advise you. It seems
Yeah,
way
you are.
too risky. for me. A lot of liability there, but I will say this, is it's kind of outside the scope of the bill. Like the scope of the bill is clear. If they live in the district, they can participate. We don't do value judgments on how they got there. I do believe you've raised an important question, but I would say talk to the Wyoming High School Activities Association and talk to them about how, if they want to address that and how they would want to address it, and then let's bring another bill. Because it really is outside the scope of this bill. We've never changed the parameters that this bill only applies if you live in the district. And and we haven't, that isn't a change. That's just the way it is. So, but I do understand your issue, but I think I would work it that way.
Okay.
Talk with them. They're great people there.
Yeah.
They do really good work for our kids. So, and then but something you might want to pursue. Or that might be something they could do under rules. I just don't really know.
Follow-up question, Mr. Chair.
Representative Erickson.
Also, the gentleman from Teton County brought up an interesting thought there, and that has to do with the academic standards and eligibility of such to participate in those activities. How do we compare their curriculum with, say, what we have at Star Valley High School?
Representative Lawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can only tell you what I understand happens in my district. And so that there is information that the homeschool, for example, in homeschooling, a parent would provide about where that child is as they do those checks of eligibility under kind of a do not pass, do not play kind of rules. So they provide that. Because there was some discussion even within our district about how should they do that? Should they be a form? Or everyone was kind of sending it in. And so I don't know how they work that out, but they were requiring some information about the child is on track, has gotten all his work, his or her homework done. So I know in our district, there's some that going on of an attempt to make sure that people were participating that were, I don't even know how to describe the word, but just so that they were having the same requirements, because this does not really free from some of it really talks about what you don't do require anything more than what the school districts are requiring. And, I think we even had a discussion in one of the meetings about sometimes the feeling that some of what the school districts are doing might not be adequate. But again, I can't say that's a fact. I just remember the discussion.
Representative Erickson. Further discussion? Are there any further amendments? I'm going to do it. No one else is going to.
Mr. Chairman,
Representative Singh.
if I'm getting this wrong, I apologize. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So the suggested amendment on line 6 on page 2, just striking that language after the word activities in grades 6 through 12. I believe that was a suggested amendment. Is that matching?
Representative
that.
Thing, are you trying to make it K through 12?
Yes.
Would you like to offer a conceptual amendment to do that? Because we will have to change quite a few things in the titles of these bills.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Chairman, if you just give the LSO bullpen the latitude to make conforming changes, they can do that.
Did-
I'll
Good.
save that as a committee of the whole amendment, I think, Mr. Chairman, if that's more appropriate.
No, we won't.
Oh,
We can't, we're gonna do, we have to do it here.
okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize. This is just getting a little confusing. I would like to make the motion to amend whatever is necessary to amend the title in order to change what is happening in this bill to 6 through 12, or K through 12 instead of 6 through 12. And give LSO latitude to make those changes.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Moved by Representative Singh, seconded by Representative Bratton. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman,
Representative Kelly.
thank you. This seems like a rather big change to it, going from K through 12. And it's not, these are not concepts that we went over in the interim, and we barely had any input on how this might affect elementary schools. I don't have any answers for us right now, but I just want us to consider that before we make a major change to the bill as such.
Thank you. Further discussion? Seeing none. My personal opinion on what Representative Kelly was addressing would be that the purpose of this bill was to clarify a student's right to participate in these activities and their right to access the public school system. I think that what we're trying to do is not create that right, but to clarify it. And I think if we don't include K through 12, we're actually, what this bill ends up doing is exempting elementary school from that right, at least within the statutes. So I would be on and in support of the amendment.
Mr. Chairman.
Representative Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And just my heart in offering this amendment is that, in my opinion, it's specifically the younger kids that would benefit the most from having access to these activities. So, but it's not wrong at all to worry about the unintended consequences.
Thank you. Further discussion. Representative Erickson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. I too would echo that same concern that Representative Kelly talked about. And I think it's quite a bit of a different bill if it's changed to go K through 12. And my concern is, just a case in point might be, you can see the WASA, Wyoming Activities Association, having those, the 6th through 12th grade fall in under those, even though I know middle school does not come in under that activities agreement. But elementary school, would that open up a whole can of worms for, say that there was a school Christmas play, and would that be something that they would want to participate in? Would that cause problems in the elementary? So I would be opposed to amending that to include all. I would say stay at the 6 through 12.
Thank you. Is there any more discussion? Representative Guggenmoss.
Just curious if the department had any stance on this.
Chief Shaner.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, through you, Representative Guggenmoss. We have not, I have not had the opportunity to talk to the superintendent about going K-12. I haven't had a chance to talk to the superintendent about going fully K-12 versus just 6-12.
All right, thank you. Further discussion? Question having been called, all those in favor of the amendment, say aye. Aye. All those opposed? No.
No.
Motion, it has not been adopted. Is there any further discussion on the bill? Seeing none and question having been called, please call, no, roll. Yes, please call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, for House Bill 23, participation in K-12 activities, sorry, the discussion really got to me. Participation in 6 through 12 activities, Representative, do pass amended, Representative Bratton,
Aye.
Representative Erickson,
Aye.
Representative Guggenmoss,
Aye.
Representative Kelly,
Aye.
Representative Lawley,
Aye.
Representative Singh,
Aye.
Representative Strock,
Aye.
Representative Williams,
Aye.
Chairman Andrew.
Aye.
That is 9 aye.
The bill has passed the committee. House, no. Yes. House Bill 24 is now on the table for our consideration. Representative Pratt.
Mr. Chairman, House Bill 24 updates the timeline for reviewing charter school applications by extending the total amount of time the authorizer has to make a decision after receiving a complete application from 90 to 120 days. It also replaces multiple incremental review deadlines with one clear overall timeline. Overall, House Bill 24 is a procedural adjustment focused on improving the review process rather than altering the charter school policy in itself.
Thank you. Are there any questions for Representative Bratton? Seeing none, would the department like to comment on this bill? They would not. Oh. Is there any department that would like to comment? No.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. My name is John Waller, and I'm the Executive Director of the Wyoming Charter School Authorizing Board. I want to thank you for your support of House Bill 24 during the interim session. As you know, our primary focus as a board is to conduct a rigorous review of all charter school applicants to ensure that successful high-achieving schools move forward. By giving us the flexibility with this process, we can align our efforts to thoroughly vet all applicants. Our goal is to thoroughly vet all applicants, and this proposed timeline gives us the flexibility in this process while still allowing ample time for schools to organize for opening. I have our Vice Chair, Fred Von Ahrens, is with us today, and online we have Chairman Bayteski also. So we would entertain any questions you guys would have and at this time. So,
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you.
okay.
Is there any public comment? Ms. Klein.
Hi, Carrie Klein, Wyoming Public Charter School Association, and you might want to write this down. The districts and I are here together at the same time, at the same table, so it's good. Just quickly, we're in support of this bill. We do feel it allows our authorizers, either the state authorizer or a district authorizer, the time that they need to really look at the applications and make sure that the charter schools we have opening are of the highest quality and what we want in this state. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none, Mr. Farmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Brian Farmer, Wyoming School Boards Association. You first heard from the state authorizing charter board recognizing that this is good for them. And as Ms. Klein said, we as school districts also recognize that this is good for us. increasing the timeline, increasing the flexibility, really allows for a good vetting of applications. So regardless of who the decision maker is, and regardless of who the applicant is, there's an opportunity for folks to come to the best decision for their communities. So with that, we support this legislation.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Further public testimony? Would Ms. McCoy like to testify? She's on the list.
Mr. Chairman, I think she is done for the day.
All right. There's no further public testimony. Public testimony is closed. Committee, what is your pleasure? Moved by Representative Lawley, seconded by Representative Guggenmoss. Is there any discussion or amendments? Question having been called, please call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, for House Bill 24, review of charter school applications, Representative Bratton,
Aye.
Representative Erickson,
Aye.
Representative Gudmoss,
Aye.
Representative Kelly,
Aye.
Representative Lawley,
Aye.
Representative Singh,
Aye.
Representative Strock,
Aye.
Representative Williams,
Aye.
Chairman Andrew.
Aye.
That is 9 ayes.
That one may have been a record for time in Education Committee.
It's easier when I had a whole interim with these.
House Bill 25 is now on the table for our consideration. Representative Lawley. No, Representative Erickson. Sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Today, I'm proud to bring forward an update to the Wyoming Tomorrow Scholarship that makes this important program more accessible and more practical for students it was designed to serve. This bill eliminates the continuous enrollment requirement. While well-intentioned, that requirement has created barriers for students whose lives don't always follow a straight path. Many Wyoming students are balancing school with work, family responsibilities, military service, religious service, or unexpected life events. When they do pause their education, they shouldn't lose the opportunity the scholarship provides. By removing the continuous enrollment requirement, we make the program more congruent with the realities of the workforce and the needs of non-traditional students. This change strengthens students' ability to remain employed, support themselves and their families, and still complete their education. The Wyoming Tomorrow Scholarship was created to invest in our people and meet our workforce needs. This adjustment keeps that promise intact while adding flexibility and fairness. Thank you.
Thank you. That was impressive considering I asked you to do that an hour ago.
I hurried.
I was concerned when he was asking me to do it.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, is there testimony from any state agencies? It's public testimony. Okay. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman. Laurel Ballard from the Executive Director of the Wyoming Community College Commission. We are the one who brought this one forward, so we're really excited to see it. So please know that the colleges are excited about that. Just one thing to consider as we thought about it afterwards. We do have like a 41-year timeline in which the students could use it. We may want to think about shortening that somewhat. I'm not talking about like 4 years, I mean 10 years, 15 years, something like that, but just you may want to think about kind of a cap, like once they initiate it, giving them so long to spend it, but that's just food for thought for the committee.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Representative Bratton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That was a concern that I had and why I voted no in committee in our last meeting was the length of time and if we had the funding to cover that. And I was not convinced that the finance people felt comfortable with that as well. So it is currently 41 years.
They can initiate it once they turn, I believe it's 24, and then until they're 65.
Mr. Chairman. Follow up.
Representative Bratton.
I would like to shorten that. What would be a reasonable amount of time in your experience?
We were thinking more of something like 10 years, 15 if you really want to push it up. I mean, these are adults with lives that really may need some of those breaks that may be more extensive than like what we would see with the Hathaway scholarship or something like that. So that's kind of what we were thinking. I can certainly come back later with more, but I mean, that's kind of where we were landing.
All right, thank you.
Further questions? Seeing none, thank you. Is there any public testimony?
Mr. Chairman,
Janine?
members of the committee, my name is Kelly Little. I'm with the Associated General Contractors of Wyoming. In our industry, a lot of our workforce does take an alternative path to education and certificates. So we are in support of this bill. The hardworking, working class people of the state, this is a leg up for them to continue their education while providing for their families. And we can see this as, only a benefit, the flexibility and the ability to continue in their life and get that education is a benefit. So with that, I would stand for questions.
Representative Lawley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here, Kelly. Do you have any opinions about if the length of time, like, do you see any benefit to it going to the age 60 or whatever we have it, like, in terms of from your perspective as an employer?
Mr. Chairman, I don't really have any opinion on that, Representative. I think if they start their education, if they're not completing it within that 10 to 15 year timeframe that was mentioned before, I do think, they're gonna be a lifelong student at that point. So I do think, that would be appropriate. I don't see somebody taking a 40-year path to getting a certificate or, a lot of the community colleges, that's kind of what our industry, that's where they go to get that, is those community colleges, and it doesn't take that long, even with having other obligations.
Thank you.
Further questions? Seeing none, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. My name is Clark Fairbanks, and I'm with the Director of the Wyoming Youth Service Association, representing nonprofit youth service agencies across Wyoming. And I stand in support of this bill, House Bill 25. As it was stated, in short, it would be great if no student experienced a life crisis that could interrupt their ability to attend to their studies. And specifically for who I represent, this is especially true for children growing up in the foster care system, homeless youth, young adults who are really attending school with little or no family support at times, and that family support could be financial or emotional support. So I believe this would support young adults' ability to pursue their academic goals in a better way. And I think it's in the spirit of the scholarship. So appreciate you considering this on behalf of people who have had significant life crises at a young age, but sometimes those don't go away magically when you turn 18. And so with that, I'd stand for any questions.
Are there any questions? Seeing none, thank you. Is there any further public testimony? Ms. McCoy back online? No. All right, public testimony is now closed. Committee, what is your pleasure?
Move the bill.
Moved by Representative Lawley, seconded by Representative Strzok. Is there any discussion or amendments? Representative Bratton.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would like to amend the bill to be a shorter period of time. I would say 10 years, but I am open to other friendly amendment thoughts, on that number.
Second. Moved and seconded. Representative Long.
Well, I'm wondering if this is the bill to do that in, like, I'd have to get I can go in there and pull the books, but, all this bill's seeking to do is change the, continued enrollment, like you don't have to be continually enrolled. It really isn't addressing that period of time. And again, maybe we can get you up here, Dr. Ballard, but I just I'm wondering if that's not beyond the scope of this bill, but let me check. I have to look at the statute.
Dr. Ballard, any thoughts?
Mr. Chairman, I'm happy to take thoughts. In terms of whether it belongs in this bill or somewhere else, I'm not sure. I know it's just something, I mean, it becomes more likely to be an issue when or the issue, I guess, arises when you took the continuous enrollment out, because it's unlikely someone's going to school full time for 40 years, but it could be on and off, on and off, on and off, lifetime learner. So it may become an issue as you take this away. So whether it belongs to this bill or not, I'm not sure, but it's just something for the committee to consider.
Thank you. We have 45 more minutes to work the bill, so I think we're good.
Chairman, like a lot of advice has been given today, and I feel like some kind of a disclaimer, maybe like you get what you pay for or something like that might be appropriate, but let me take a look here.
It's something we can look at and then just do that in the floor. Get it passed. Is that
1804.
I think it would require a title change.
Yeah, see, I think, in other words, it's a great idea, but I'm thinking about maybe next in the general session. I mean,
I'm just saying we can do that, but we have to do it now.
yes, that, yes.
Representative Erickson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And I'd just offer my support for that amendment. And I know that we're trying to decide if it's the right place, but I think it is. And I would like to see that go forward with us setting that time at 10 years. And again, we have to defer to our country lawyer in
One
many
thing
of
to
these
consider
things.
is this might not be a one-page bill.
I think it
might be our only one.
So at this point, and from this way, this actually Bill did say 20 years.
I mean, we could try to conceptually, because I'm trying to find out in here where the age requirements are. Maybe it's up here. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, we can do it conceptually, but I was just trying to find what even provision as the age requirements. But anyway, yeah, we can do it conceptually, I think. There's a lot here, but because I'm not even yet finding where the age is, but yeah, conceptually, I think we could.
As this works,
Now that
say if you've had it, been using it for.
Mr. Chairman, yeah, could
Something goes on.
Is that a friendly amendment?
Right.
Do the second and the sponsor. All right.
Yes.
We are conceptually adding a 10-year window to use the scholarship into this bill. Mr. Chairman. Representative Singh.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just as a procedural question for LSO, when we go to the House floor, well, anyone who can answer this, when we go to the House floor, we'll be presenting the original bill that we have right now, and then we'll have to accept the amendment, this change as an amendment. So we can still walk out of this with the original bill. Is that correct?
Mr. Chairman, that is correct. You will present the bill as currently drafted. And then, after you've presented the bill, somebody will present the standing committee amendment, which is separate from that. And then the body will vote on it from there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Representative Strock.
Okay, I just need to understand, thank you, Chairman, need to understand this. So say if you've been using this for 2 years, something terrible happens. And does that mean you have to then have everything done in another 10 years, or can you start back up in 10 years? See, I mean, like, does that give you? I think we should leave it alone. Who's going
I
to
believe
stretch it
you
out
would
for
have 10
41 years
from when
anyway?
you first started using it. So you'd have to pick it up again within 10 years from your start date.
So you could have that 10-year break, say something horrible, and so you need 10 years to get your business on the ground, and then you want to start it up again, you could do that?
Representative Lawley seems to have thoughts.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. You've raised a really great question, Representative Strzok, truly, and it really exemplifies why we need to really see in statute what we're changing and really consider the policy options and the implications of them. Because I do think there could, so that even what time period we might pick, maybe we would do 15 versus 10, but we need to do that carefully. I don't see it as an urgent matter while we're here and here, but something to work on in the next session, because I think there are a lot of things we need to take into consideration. And quite frankly, I would like to take some public testimony on it from those that would be using it or represent groups that would be using it, that we would really make sure we aren't fumbling over ourselves. Although I agree it needs to be done, but I want to better understand it. So I guess that's why I'm a little, and I searched there and I was doing it super fast and it's very small print. But I mean, I couldn't even find where those things were. So maybe there's nothing, maybe there's no, time frame, but I couldn't find in there. So I think it's a great idea. I think we need to do it, but I don't think in the middle of a budget session right now is the time to do it. And I would like to have public testimony on it, because I don't want to go to the floor and people start asking good questions that we cannot answer. I mean, as the one my dear friend Tommy over here asked, and
And give them their 41 years, for goodness sakes.
yeah, so that's my suggestion. Honestly, I'm feeling a little bit uncertain. That's that free advice you got. That was what you paid for.
Representative Braden.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Fair enough. I appreciate that. And I appreciate all the input. I am going to withdraw that amendment for now, and we can perhaps revisit later. Yeah, in a more timely fashion. Thank you. So
Thank you.
do I have to move to withdraw the amendment? I'm just withdrawing it.
I think you can just do it.
I'm just doing it then.
As long as the second is amenable.
And I,
Yeah. All right.
thank you.
Great. Further discussion, question having been called. Please call the roll.
Mr. Chairman, for House Bill 25, Wyoming's Tomorrow Scholarship Program Amendments do pass. Representative Bratton,
No.
Representative Erickson,
Aye.
Representative Guggenmoss,
Aye.
Representative Kelly,
Aye.
Representative Lawley. Representative Singh,
Aye.
Representative Strzok,
Aye.
Representative Williams,
Aye.
Chairman Andrew.
Aye.
8 aye, 1 no.
The bill has passed the committee. And we are adjourned.